4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Today, the first episode of Bots TV, many different guests and more information about the Bots League. My name is Koen Schobbers and this is Bots TV. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Bots TV. We're here in Haarlem, live from the Bots headquarters, and I'm sitting next to Herbert. Herbert, we're going to have a long season together. Glad you're joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm a tech journalist. I have my own podcast on crypto called CryptoCast. I love talking about crypto, and that's what we're going to do for the next maybe 50 minutes. So I'm looking forward to all of that.
The upcoming 45, 50 minutes, as well as the upcoming months, because we're going to be partnering for the upcoming shows as well. But it's not only me and Herbert sitting here in the studio, it's also Adosa. Adosa, how are you doing?
I'm doing really great. Thank you so much. I'm here to help the audience out with their questions. So if you have any questions, let them know in the chat and we will answer them live. So, Koen, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Adosa. So we're going to have multiple different guests during this live show. You know, in the chat, just be active, write questions, write them down, and then eventually Adosa will ask those questions to the guests that we have in the show. Now, the schedule, what are we going to talk about today? This is what we're going to do. We're going to start with the news of the past week, Bots News. We're then going to go into Bots Users, and we have a guest there that's called Hendrik. He is the COO of Bots. We're going to continue with a special guest, Koen Schobbers, the CCO of Bots, and then we have an item that's called Around the World. Now, the topic Around the World is all about other countries. How is crypto regulated in those countries? How are the financials organized in those countries? And we also have a guest talking about these things. And today it's going to be Peter McCormack. He is the host of a podcast called What Bitcoin Did, as well as Defiance. Then we're going to continue with the Bots League. The Bots League is going to start next week, but we're going to tease you a little bit with a special guest that we have. It's one of the bot creators, and he's very active in the Discord group as well. In case you don't have Discord yet or you didn't join the Bots Discord group, be sure to do so. But he is a bot creator, and we have invited him for the live show as well. Now, first of all, we're going to start with the Bots news. So what happened in the past week? Adosa.
So today I have 4 news items here for you with one with a little twist. So let me know if you know which one it is. I will start off with the first news item. Ethereum dropped 8% Wednesday after hitting an all-time high the day before, which was actually $1,430. It could also be explained by the explosive growth that is directly tied actually to the rise of projects in DeFi, which is also called decentralized finance. The second one is Gary Gensler, who is the new chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is from the world-leading stock exchange regulator of the US. Crypto fans are actually really happy that this is going on because he also provides lectures actually on blockchain and supports regulation of the crypto, since he believes that crypto can actually strengthen the financial system. On the opposite, actually, we have Janet Yellen, who is an odds-on favorite to become the new Treasury Secretary for the Biden administration. She said she's keeping a close eye actually on the cryptocurrencies because it plays a role in criminal and terrorist activities. However, report shows actually that the crime-related activities are falling steadily, which means it's actually becoming more transparent and better for the government to actually regulate everything. So this is good news. The last item, the European Union wants to raise its voice more often on the world stage. According to Brussels, this will improve if the euro is given a more important place in the international markets. It is said, actually, that the European Union thinks about strengthening its position by burning euros. So, I've just presented you the 4 topics. Now I'm going back to Koen and Herbert to see if they know the twist. So, Herbert, do you know it actually?
Well, I've been thinking maybe the amount, the dollar amount of Ethereum that you mentioned could be wrong. I've been thinking about the name of this new SEC boss, which I didn't know at all. So
Gary,
maybe that one's made up, I don't know. But the best candidate actually is, as far as I'm concerned, burning euros. I like the idea. It's the opposite of printing euros. But I don't really think that they're actually going to burn euros, although I would like to see that.
You would like to see it. It's pretty common in the crypto industry, of course, like
Burning coins,
burning
yes.
assets, burning
That's
coins.
not physical burning, that's digital burning, so
Exactly.
that's something else. But it's an interesting idea to do that to fiat money.
And what did you think about the balance between Ethereum and Bitcoin?
Well, Ethereum is on the rise. In 2017, there was almost a flippening, Ethereum becoming bigger in market cap than Bitcoin. Didn't happen in the end. Right now, Ethereum is rising much faster even than Bitcoin, but on the other hand, the market cap is still less than a quarter of Bitcoins. So they have a way to go. I don't think that will happen very soon.
No, it maybe won't happen very soon, but what's important to mention as well is that Ethereum broke a 3.5-year pattern, a downtrend, which they broke against Bitcoin. So now they're going up in an uptrend, and the value of Ethereum versus Bitcoin is increasing. So
That's right. Very
they're getting there. They're getting there. Adosa, did Herbert indeed find the little twist in one of the news items?
He actually did. It was correct. So it was indeed so that by burning euros wasn't the case, but they were working on their positioning. So yes, Herbert, you were correct.
Thank you.
So for now, we're going to switch to the bot users actually. So if you have any questions for our next guest, let us know in the comments or in the chat, and we will answer them straight away. Koen, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Adosas. And it's definitely a guest that knows a lot about users as well. So we're in the section bots users right now. And the guest here sitting in the studio live is the COO of Bots, Hendrik de Grotenhuis. Hendrik, welcome. Glad you're here. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. It's a nice weather today, so that's nice. But we had a really nice last 4 to 6 weeks at Bots.
Explain.
It
What
went
happened?
fantastic. The Bitcoin went sky high. A lot of people added funds on the app. A lot of new users. So it was fantastic for us.
Yeah, indeed. Like since the 16th of December, the Bitcoin price basically shot from 20K all the way up to 42K and then back to 30K, unfortunately. But also the amount of users increased. Can you give us a little bit of knowledge about how many users you had before, how many there are now? And could you explain a little bit more about Bots Gold, maybe?
Yeah, I can. We had about, let's say, 8,000 to 9,000 users before the end of December. And I think it doubled in almost 4 to 6 weeks. So it was fantastic for us. A lot of people funded at first 1 to 200 the first time. And that went up like sky high to 4 to 500 euro on average. And then starting about gold members, we started gold members for people who want to fund more than 10,000 euros.
And is there a direct relation, in your view, between Bitcoin getting attention in the press and all that, and users flocking towards bots?
Absolutely, and especially those gold members, because they see all the news and they think, I want a part of my money, which I have in a company or my bank account, I want to put it in Bitcoin. But I don't want to do it myself. I don't want to open accounts and stuff like that, and just open a bot and just let them do the work. And I will wait. And that's especially important, I think. A lot of those people who funded a lot of money want to wait.
They basically use it as a store of value. Instead of using gold or silver, for example, they start to use
Safe
cryptocurrencies
haven, I think.
more. Yeah.
Safe haven for them. And that's what I think makes the Bitcoin strong at this moment. And that's why I trust it as well, because a lot of those people trust it. And I think that's very important.
Yeah, very interesting. Now let's see if Adosa has any questions from the audience already.
Yes, I did. Actually, I was just... yes, there I am. So I was actually wondering, together with the audience, what would you do if you were just a starter actually using the Bots app? What is important to do at the beginning?
That's a very good question. I would start with a couple of bots, so diversify between them. and look at the risk levels. It's very important. It's about 6 to 12. So I would always choose one of 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11, 12. I would see. Sorry, guys. And that's very important for them. And of course, the base currency. Not all users know that, but the bots have a base currency. And that can be like USDT, which is $1, or Bitcoin or Ethereum. And if you choose a base coin, which is $1, the bot can go out, which means when the Bitcoin drops, it can help you not getting in the downfall. And if you have a Bitcoin bot with a base with Bitcoin, you always go down. So people who take Bitcoin bots are believers of Bitcoin. But if you're just a starter, I would say diversify and start with the USDT bots.
And
Very
has this historically been proven correct that bots that have euros as base currency have less damage, go down less than the bots that have Bitcoin as base currency?
I can give two names. We had the Mia bots, which is from Akka Technologies as a bot creator. They are real traders. And you saw at the January 10th, when the Bitcoin dropped from 40,000 to 32, you saw that they stepped out at about 38. You just saw that in the graph. So that's a good example of a USDT bot. I had an Ethereum and a Bitcoin bot, and that went down, of course, 20%.
Yeah, of course, you want to like sell high and buy low, right?
Yeah, and that's the USDT bot is capable of doing that.
Yeah, and then of course you had a lot of users, and eventually those users start to use the app. They start to read the different pages and the different bots. But eventually, you thought as bots like, okay, we need to give people a little bit more support. Hence the reason Bots Gold was introduced, a bit more funding. But there's more. They also receive more support and other beneficials. What are those?
Now, what we do with Bots Gold members, because they want to add a lot of money, sometimes they call and they say, I want to add 100,000 euros today. So then we thought, we have to give them some help. So then sometimes Arthur, the head of our bots creators department, has a call with some bot creators and say, okay, what bots can we propose for this client? And then we have a call with them, and then we decide, we let them decide, of course. We are not an asset manager in that way.
Or a financial advisor.
Financial advisor, but we help them choosing the right ones. So that's what we do then. Yeah, and that's really important. That's also what they give us back. That, okay, I need this information because otherwise I find it too risky to put 100,000 euros on it.
Yeah, and if we let's talk about regular users, the mom and pop stuff. What is the main advantage for of the bots app compared to regular Bitcoin exchanges, crypto exchanges?
A very important thing is, of course, the hustle. So you don't have to open a wallet. It's for a lot of, let's say my mother, she cannot open a wallet at Binance herself. So that's the one reason. But the second one, a bot wants to trade extra Bitcoins for you. So if you have a Bitcoin bot, in the end, you want him or her to trade 1.2 Bitcoin for you. And that's the whole difference between having a coin at an exchange, which over 1 year is still 1 Bitcoin. But when you have a good bot, it trades extra Bitcoin.
It's also a little bit more passive, right? Like people don't have to put in a lot of time to trade themselves because the bots are doing that for them.
No, that's. I would say that's very important.
Herbert, the final question.
The final question. Do you have a prediction at all for the Bitcoin price by the end of this year?
I was expecting that question. And as I told you already, I have a lot of confidence, also due to these guys and girls who have put a lot of money on the app right now, and that's why I think between 50 and 100K is possible before the end of the year.
And I'm taking this down.
Yes.
Yeah, we're writing it down. We're going to keep all the predictions with us for the upcoming season of bots, and we'll see. But we almost hit 50K already, so who knows? Anyway, Hendrik, thank you for your prediction, and thank you for taking the time as well in your day to join us here live during the first episode of Bots TV. Now, let's go to Adosa to recap what we've just spoken about.
Yes, so we discussed Bots Gold, what to do as a starter actually when you're using the Bots app. Also, we've been talking about base coins and also the benefits of using bots for trading. Now, I'm going to introduce you a little bit to the Bots League actually. So there are actually 70 teams already joining the bots league, with over 200 bots in total. There are actually pretty funny names already included. So for instance, the Widow bot, I see here bot Velas, and even a Lucky Charm bot. I think they're really funny actually. So the registration that you can actually sign up is until Tuesday midnight. So this is for next week. So next week, Tuesday. And if you have any more questions for our next guest, please let us know right now, because Koen is about to introduce the next guest. So Koen, who do we have here?
Yes, thank you, Adosa. Well, it's a special guest. It's one of the founders of bots as well. And he was just playing with his little bot actually on the table. It's no one else than Colin Groos, the CCO of bots. Well, Colin, we've had quite a history actually, because we met years ago during one of the Bots League episodes, which was running back then in 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
If I'm not mistaken, you were one of my guests at the table, and that's how our whole story started. However, the story of bots is a little bit older as well, and continues indeed. Can you explain us, as well as, of course, the audience, a little bit more about the story of bots?
Yeah, well, it's a really long story, but I keep I also have a little small version. I'm trading cryptocurrency since 2014, so I was making a lot of money with it. I turned like 4,000 euro, I turned it into 200,000 euro at that time. So I thought I'm doing really well, and I did it following a certain pattern. So I always did sort of the same thing. So I thought, well, I can program it and make an algorithm out of it. So I was discussing it with my other companion, Michiel Stokman, how we can make good trading strategy. And we came up with one. We put it in an Excel sheet. Well, the numbers looked like crazy. We thought, well, we have to program this. So I searched for a guy who can make this algorithm. And then I found Stefan. And he is now the CTO also of bots. But at that time, he programmed it. And it didn't do actually that well as in the Excel sheet. But it did perform quite okay. So we thought...
Why didn't it do that well?
Yeah, because we didn't knew so much about this market yet at that time. Because we didn't know about the spreads and all hidden costs and all kind of other things that happens. And when you do a back test, then you have different results than the actual practice. So
of course you thought, now I'm going back to trading myself. That's better.
Well, the algorithm, it did actually still well. And then we thought, well, how can we give this algorithm to my friends and my family and my mother, for example? She can make some profit with it as well. And well, she have to have set up a server, a virtual machine, put the code there, connect it with an API to her exchange, and then make sure that she has a wallet address where she can transfer crypto
it's
to.
a bad idea if you have a winning strategy to give it away.
Well, that's. I don't think it's a bad idea, especially if you make a platform like this, then you give it to everybody in the world. And well, the big companies in the world, they are trading with strategies for a long time, but they keep it for themselves. So I wouldn't be any better if I would do the same thing. So
you wanted to basically help everyone, that even people that don't have the time to deep dive into cryptocurrency, you wanted to help those people to enter this industry without having to like search for all the information and learning about trading and technical analysis and everything.
Yeah, so we thought we have to make it really, really, really simple, and that's how we thought of bots. And now we are, since the original idea, 3 years further. It took a lot of effort to build the app like it's now, and now we are actually taking off.
And you started with one bot that wasn't yet performing very well. However, nowadays you have bots that are almost making 200% since the beginning that they're launched. Yeah. How many bots are on the app right now?
I think something like 63, and a lot of bots are in quarantine because we test these bots really well before they come to the platform.
Well, so are we.
So
Lockdown quarantine.
They don't have a virus, do they?
So the quarantine topic is really hot also with bots. So.
But Colin, still, if you look at the list of bots in the bots app, the one that performs the very best is the bot that does nothing. It's the big friendly bot. That's really its name. It buys Bitcoin and doesn't do anything else.
Yeah. So we have.
How come? So every strategy is worse than just buying Bitcoin.
Well, that depends, because we also had a period in March where the Bitcoin went a little down. And also like what Hendrik was referring to just before I was sitting here, there are bots that also outperform in certain markets. But when it's all going up, up, and you don't have any leverage options, which we still don't have in the platform at the moment, then you cannot really outperform that huge spike.
Yeah, so that this big friendly bot is leading now is just a coincidence. Is that right?
Or the time of the year because of the Bitcoin price.
Yes, it's the time of the year
reaching
also
new highs.
because a lot of people are comparing this to all the other bots at this moment, but it's a really short amount of time. And you actually see a bot better if you put it in the light of years and years of data. So the longer the bots are on a platform, the trustable the results are also.
We gotta look long term at least. We gotta view long term. That's the mission. Now, very interesting. Let's see if Adosa has any questions from the audience as well.
Yes, I do. I do have actually a question. Is there any more news on the referral program? Can you tell me about it?
Yes, there is a lot of news about the referral program. So we are building it. It is almost for 98% finished in the app, but we have a really
It's like you bring in a customer and get some reward.
Like affiliate.
It's a referral. So if I say to my friends, well, here you have my referral code, then you get a little amount and I get a little amount.
Right.
So that's
you get a little bonus to start trading with as well.
But it's for 80% or 98% it's ready. So it's coming in an upcoming build quite soon. So hold on a little bit.
Well, very interesting because do you have other plans that you can already like tease us with for the upcoming year, for this year, 2021?
Yeah, we have a lot of plans. We are lining up a lot of different kind of assets, which will be in the app also really soon. Maybe some viewers also did check the Autobot. That's a little hint about what is
the
coming.
Tesla stocks, right?
Yeah, and we are making a program for influencers, for publishers, for we are going to we expect to go to 60 countries in 2021 if everything goes well. So we have what happens at bots within 1 week. It doesn't happen in
crypto.
In my other company, which I also have, in even a year, it doesn't happen. So this is really excited to be in this field.
And do you also notice that with the growing attention towards the cryptocurrency industry, with the news, Bitcoin reaching new highs, as well as the dump, of course, in the past couple of weeks and actually yesterday as well, do you notice a growing amount of people joining bots, making use of the app?
Yeah. The numbers are skyrocketing in our app, and also we thought, when everything goes up, it's a little strange. When the Bitcoin is around $30,000, everybody wants to have it, and when it's $9,000, no, everybody is waiting.
Yeah. What do you
exactly
think,
the same.
What do you think is the reason behind that? Because it's a little bit of psychology as well. Right?
Yeah, it's psychology. Yeah, it's like fear of missing out, and then everybody sees, there's a lot of potential going on, and they only see it when it's going up, but it's actually always there. And then only when it's going up, it's everywhere in the news, and then a lot of people, it's fear of missing out. I have to have this at this moment because it's
law of supply and demand, right?
Yeah,
the higher the price, the higher the demand goes.
Yeah.
It's actually very interesting. Bitcoin. Very interesting as well. Now, let's see if the audience has another question. Adosa?
I have another question for you. Is there any merchandise coming soon?
Bots merchandise. Well, we got a couple of merchandise bots, let's say, on our table here.
We get that question a lot, and we have some T-shirts and hoodies and all kind of stuff within our team. But we are also setting up a store in the near future, so where people can that are really excited about what we're doing. We have a lot of ambassadors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you make more money now than you did trading?
Yeah, that's a different question, because there were also times in trading when I didn't make a lot of money. Yeah, so you always refer to the best period, because I said it went to, for example, 200,000, but of course I didn't sell on the right moment, so it went down a lot as well. And
Yeah, that's what.
that's what.
Oh, Herbert,
story.
let's continue with the last question.
Yeah, because what do you think of the Bitcoin price? Where's it going by the end of this year?
Yeah, and how can I not be so excited about the crypto space, and especially the Bitcoin pushing everything forward as well? And when you realize how the Bitcoin is built, and if you know a lot about economics and scarcity, and you see the governments printing money, then I think it must go up really soon. And I think a lot of things are going to happen in 2021. So where do people
Name your price.
Yeah. 100,000, 200,000. There are
Getting
maybe
close to the predictions of Plan B as well, right?
Yeah, and you have also Citibank says it's going to 318,000, and then there are others saying 400,000. So, but I'm also in this positive range. So around in between 100,000 and 400,000 by the end of the year.
Sounds good.
But
hopefully some of our viewers have
who
some Bitcoin, or invest in the big friendly bond, of course, as well as the others, because they're there for a reason.
It's also a bit wishful thinking, of course.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's all predictions. We don't know what's going to happen in the upcoming year as well. Maybe Bitcoin's going to crash back to zero.
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't expect it to, but you never know what's going to happen. Anyway, Colin, thank you for joining us here, and your prediction, of course. Hopefully see you next time during the next episode as well. So great to have you here live during the first episode of Bots TV, right?
Thank you.
So cool. Let's go to Adosa for a summary of what we've just been talking about.
So we've been talking about the referral program of bots, actually the bots app and its future plans. Also, we've been talking about the merchandise, actually, if there will be any merch, and also the fear of missing out in trading. So if our last guest will arrive shortly. So if you have any more questions, please let us know and we will answer them right away.
Yes, thank you, Adosa. So again, if there's any questions, write them in the chat and we will answer them for you. Adosa will answer them, or will give those questions, send those questions to the guest that we have. And the upcoming guest is a very special guest. It's not a Dutch guest, in contrary to Hendrik and Colin, who are, of course, the part of the bots company as well. We're going to talk with Peter McCormack, and we're going to do that through a live stream. So I'm just checking if Peter can hear me, yes or no.
I can hear you.
Great. Well, Peter, thank you for joining us live here in the studio. Well, basically through the connection we have. Happy that you were able to make some time. Peter McCormack, host of the podcast What Bitcoin Did, as well as Defiance. You have a great history in the cryptocurrency and financial industry. How are you doing at the moment in 2021?
Doing very well. Very good start of the year. Bitcoin's doing well. Podcast is doing well. Kids are doing well. Yeah, everything's pretty good, man.
Thank you. And next to me is sitting Herbert, and Herbert knows a little bit about your history. So Herbert, let's...
back in December, Peter, you sent a tweet into the world telling everybody you had borrowed money to buy Bitcoin. That was during a short dip, somewhere around the 20K point. What I'd like to know is, do you consider it okay for everybody to borrow money to buy crypto?
So the price was at $17,500. It dipped. I do consider it okay for anybody to borrow money to buy Bitcoin, but I wouldn't recommend everyone to do it. I think everyone should have the free choice to do it. Nobody should tell somebody they can't. Whether they should is completely different, though. I think for most people, it would be a stupid thing to do because you're essentially buying something you can't afford. Which is a highly risky, volatile asset, which most likely, if it goes up and down in what Bitcoin does, it's going to scare you, and you might make a rash decision and sell, or you might need the money at another point. I have a business which generates ranging from $10,000 to $30,000 a month profit. So the loan represented merely an $800 a month repayment. I wish I could have borrowed 5-6 times more than that, but that was the limit the bank would give me.
If you could look if you could look into the future and know what to expect since the 16th of December, I'm sure the loan would have been a little bit higher because we had to kick from 20K to 40. But yet again, I think in the end, the decision you make turned out positively. And of course, besides the fact that you have a lot of knowledge about the industry, which also helped you, of course, with that decision. However, in the UK, there's also other stuff going on. The acceptance of crypto by law. Can you talk to us a little bit about what's happening there?
Well, yeah, I think there's a few myths flying around that the UK is not accepting of people using Bitcoin. I think that the main regulatory change that came recently was the banning of derivatives with cryptocurrencies. I mean, I disagree with that. I believe people should be able to make their own decisions. But at the same time, that was what was banned. The actual buying and selling of Bitcoin itself isn't banned, and neither is the ability to deposit gains back into your bank account. There are some rumors about the HSBC, and I haven't fully looked into that. But generally speaking, I think a lot of this is a bit of a myth. And to be honest, even if it was true, it just makes me laugh. It just proves to me that Bitcoin is right and it's getting stronger. And I think whenever a government tries to attack Bitcoin, it's bullish sentiment.
Yeah, that's very often what we hear. What was it? Buy the news, sell the news, and buy the rumor, or something like that. I don't know exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Sell the news.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, correct. And do you think there's a little bit of fear involved by the government of what Bitcoin's going to be, where it's going? They want to control it.
I don't think it's fear. I think usually these things are control rather than fear. If you think really what the government is, it is an institution which is to serve its employees. It says it's to serve the people, but strictly speaking, it tends to serve its employees, which is government workers first. So if you look at what's happening with the lockdowns, I haven't fully looked into it. My expectation is every government worker is being fully paid because they work for the government. But other people have had their businesses forced closed. And whilst the UK government has furloughed lots of people and helped support them, they haven't supported everyone. And some businesses are failing. So the government is there to serve itself, and Bitcoin is not something which serves the government. So I think it's more about control than fear, because the facts about the things they talk about don't really add up. When they talk about Bitcoin being used by criminals and such, I mean, criminals use computers, mobile phones, pounds, dollars, they use everything, but there seems to be this focus of attention on Bitcoin, and really it's because it's a form of money they can't control, and we know the government needs control of money to be able to pay for the things it wants to do.
Hey Peter, we've been hearing just now that people are flocking towards crypto. Are they also flocking to your podcast right now?
Hell yeah, they are. So you keep saying crypto, and I'm focused on Bitcoin, so I'm crypto implies a broad interest in cryptocurrencies. Like, I don't have an interest in all the shitcoins outside of Bitcoin. Sorry, I know Bots TV might. I'm Bitcoin only, and yes, I am. The last few months, I saw the traffic grow from. I was averaging like 250,000 downloads a month. The last 4 months have all been over 400,000, and this month is heading towards 600,000. So there's a massive influx of new listeners. I can see that on the downloads. I can see that on the emails. And I think that's a sign that Bitcoin's back in the press and people have got an interest in it. Yeah. So they're searching out where to learn about it, whether that's Twitter, podcasts.
And basically with all those new people joining, do you actually think that an app like Bots, which makes it very simple to join the industry, might be beneficial for those people as well?
I haven't looked at the Bots app, so I don't know. I didn't know you had an app. Nobody told me that. So,
you're not using any bots for trading, do you?
Yeah, there we go.
Peter, do you use any bots for trading, or do you do it all by hand?
I don't even trade. I think trading is a mugs game. There's some pros out there who are pretty good at it, and they're very good at trading. I would recommend most people who are new to Bitcoin to avoid trading early on, because it's a very fast way to lose your money. And a lot of traders out there are making good money, but there are also, often when people are making money, somebody else is losing on the other side of the trade. You are going against algorithms, quants, unknown information. So I'm personally not somebody who recommends trading. I'm not against it, by the way. Like, if people want to trade, and I think we need trading for price discovery, but I wouldn't recommend anyone new gets into trading. I think it's a fast way to lose your money.
I think that's very good advice. Peter, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day as well to speak to us here during the live show of Bots TV. I hope your podcast does well. Again, host of the podcast, What Bitcoin Did, and Defiance. Make sure to look for Peter on Twitter and Spotify as well to listen to those podcasts. So Peter, thank you for taking the time, and hopefully see you sometime soon in real life.
Thank you for having me. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Okay, Adosa, please. Let's have a little summary of what we've just been talking about.
I have a brief summary here for you. So we just discussed Peter's podcast and the way he sees it, what is going on in the UK actually, and also the growth about in the crypto actually in the UK, and also the role of government and the way he sees it actually, what is happening in the UK. So our next guest arrived, and this will be our last guest for today. So Koen, back to you.
Yes, the Bots League. It will all start next week on the 29th. That's when the Bots League is officially going to kick off. However, we do have someone that's creating bots, and it's someone that's also very active in the Discord chat. Now, if you don't know about Discord, or if you want to join the Discord chat of bots, make sure to check out the website, because there's a link towards the Discord chat where you can talk with these bots creators personally as well. And one of them is always very active, and I'm in the Discord chat myself, and I always look forward to actually meeting some of the bot creators, and this is the first one, so I'm very happy. Damien, glad you're here. Damien Verhagen, sorry. Dembots, right? That's the name you carry in the Bots app as well. How are you doing, and how did you start with your career of, making bots?
I'm good, thank you. I'm glad to be here. It originally started when I actually was in college. I wanted to make extra money on the side, and we got a student loan, so I figured why not loan some extra money, start investing. You loan a couple of $100, then you make a couple of % per year. It doesn't really add up, so I wanted to make more profit. That's how I ended up in trading. The first started with Forex trading, and that's actually how I rolled in from Forex to crypto. Then after realizing that it's like a lot of work to maintain, looking at the markets, following everything, I realized that it would make a lot of sense to do everything automated. And that's when I started making crypto bots. It was really nice. Then there was the very big dip back then, and then I kind of lost interest. Then I came across the bots app, and I figured I wanted to get back in the game, and here we are.
Yeah, and for the audience that are using the bots app, some of your bots are very well known because they always carry the numbers 10 or 20 or 30.
Yeah.
No, right?
Okay, nice.
It's the top 10, top 20, top 30 bots. Like
yes.
Those are like the bots that basically give you the name that you have in Discord as well.
Mm-hmm.
Many people talk about those bots as well. Many people use those bots. Now, it's very interesting. We're definitely going to continue talking about that. But Adosa has a question from the audience. Adosa.
Yes, I do. So the question is actually, how much money can you make as a bot creator? I'm very curious as well.
Is it a question for me or for?
Do you want to
take it? Okay, right.
We don't create bots, at least not yet. So.
Yeah. So the way that it currently works is that as a bot creator, you send signals to the platform, right? And then the bot buys and sells the coins. And as a bot creator,
do you need to steer the bot somehow?
What do you like? Interfere manually, you mean?
Yeah, you said you send signals to the bot. Is that necessary? Doesn't the bot observe the market itself?
Yeah, it's fully automated.
Okay,
of course.
okay.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything by hand,
Sure.
obviously. So the bot is analyzing the market, and then it's sending to the bot's communication platform. Okay, we need to buy or we need to sell.
Oh, I see.
And then we get paid based on the trading volume that we, as a bot creator, produce. So the more you trade and the more funds that you have, the more you get paid. And that's basically in a nutshell how you get paid.
Yeah, and also in your story, before you actually joined the live show, we of course had a little chat beforehand as well. And you mentioned that eventually you started to develop those apps, and now you have a business that is going to help people to actually build bots themselves. What was the motivation for you to set up this company, launch this company, and help others to do what you do?
Well, so that's indeed how dematrading.ai came to exist, because back then I was trading And I really wanted to focus on just developing algorithms that would work well, but I found that it was a very big hassle to also get them to investors, right? Because basically you have to do two things in order to get your algorithm live for people. You need to have your algorithm, so your analyzing tool basically, to decide when to buy or when to sell. But you also need to send those signals to, for example, the bots app. You need to make sure that you manage the portfolio, that the trades aren't too big, risk management, what if you get an error back, if a server goes down, you need to manage everything. So back then, I basically wished I found a business like myself, and then at some point I figured, okay, it doesn't exist, I'll just take the headache for everyone, and we'll just make a scalable model. And now people can work with us and we can automate their algorithm if they do it by hand. And we can optimize it with machine learning functions. And then we take care of all the logistics.
Well,
we put it on the server.
You found a problem and you've built a solution.
Exactly. A
And
problem that I had myself as well, yeah.
Are you happy now, or are you longing for your trading days?
No, I really like doing this. We currently work with, I would say, about 15 traders. Well, we started a couple of months ago, so things are growing very rapidly. We get a lot of people approaching us to help
And getting
them.
back to the question that Adosa just asked, do you make more money now, or don't you?
Then trading.
Well, currently,
Then trading.
versus trading, right?
Yeah.
So it depends the way that you look at it. Because, for example, if we look at the bots that we have, I didn't really trade by hand anymore. And the algorithms that I developed some years ago, they don't work on the current market conditions. So I'm not working with that formula anymore because it's too risky, it's not profitable. And now we're working with a lot of people that develop the algorithms. And we wanted to produce like 20 to 30 bots for the league, but we actually had to deny the first, I think we had like 10 to 15 bots we wanted to put in the league, but we personally denied them because the risk was just too high. And a lot of people, they don't make proper risk calculations. And we really want to make sure that if we put bots into the app, that we have like our brand and we basically have a stamp of approval on the risk that we want to take.
And the reputation that you're generating by people using your app should be positive as well, right? So
Exactly.
have a good
Exactly.
reputation
You
as well.
stay
So,
conservative there.
Well, I mean, crypto isn't conservative per definition, but if I look at the algorithms we got submitted by the people, then it was just way too risky. I wouldn't want my name published on that.
well, very, very interesting. I know there's another question again from the audience. So Adosa, what's the question?
Yeah, it's actually about the winnings after using the bots app. Like, why can't you transfer a portion of the winnings? Why is that? That's the question.
I've seen that coming by in the Discord group as well sometimes, like taking a partial amount of your investment in the bot.
That's a property of
you
the...
put
of the-
100 in and you want to take 50 out,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah,
doesn't
That's
work.
a property of the bots app, I guess.
Yeah, I can answer that, but indeed. So currently, the only thing I believe, don't hold me to that, but I think you can stop the bot and then you can reinvest part of the funds in the bot. You have the risk that the bot is full already, so it might be that you're out of luck, and then. But yeah, it's a functionality that they can add to the app as well.
Yeah, when I invest in my bots, if I wanted to take money out, I always first checked if it said full or almost full or available.
Yeah.
And based on that, I made the decision to take my funds out or not, because I knew that if I would take it out and it was almost full or full, I'm risking that I can't enter anymore, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
would be a
but
pity.
definitely if you want to have that, I would recommend getting in touch with the bots team, and I'm sure that they can implement such functionality.
Herbert, the final question.
Yeah.
Your prizes.
What do you think of the Bitcoin price? Where will it go this year?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me that. I really like to prepare for the worst, hope for the best. So as I said, our bots are really fit to all kind of market conditions. And I really hate making a prediction, but I know you're going to make me do it. So I'm going to say that I would guess that Bitcoin is above 20K.
at the end of this year. Well,
That's very
that's
conservative indeed.
that's a good
Well,
one.
I like to be right, so better make a safe bet.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry. That's
Better
what
be
they
safe
say,
than
right?
sorry, exactly.
Well, Damien, great to meet you. Great for taking the time as well to join us here in the studio. We're definitely going to have a chat afterwards as well if you're still here to hang around. And else, we're going to talk to each other in the Discord group, undoubtedly.
Absolutely,
So,
always feel free to message me.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Cool,
So
thanks a lot.
Damien, in the Bots app, he's known as Dembots, also known from the top 10, top 20, top 30 bots that you will find in the app. So Adosa, a short summary.
Yeah, so we just discussed everything about the way bot creators make money, how the bots actually work, and also the future of the bots app. So if you have any more questions still to ask, make sure you check us on Discord or ask the bots team. So this was actually the last... Oh, yeah, sorry. We need to translate now to the predictions, basically. So to see if what our guests actually said about the Bitcoins. So, as you can see, Damian Voorhagen, he said 20 plus K. Hendrik de Grotehuis says between 50K and 10K. And Colin actually said 100 plus K.
So
Yeah, and the middle one should be 50K up until 100K, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
I
think
guess
so
That-
too.
yeah,
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, so well, those are the predictions that the guests mentioned today. Now, during each episode, we're going to have more and more predictions. So the list is going to be a lot longer than it is, of course, right now. We currently have 3 predictions, but the season's going to continue until somewhere this year, April, May, maybe till December. Who knows? What's important to know is that next week we're going to be here again with a couple of new guests. So it's going to be very interesting, and we're going to have new predictions. Herbert, the first episode is almost finished.
It was fun.
Almost finished. What are you going to take away from this first episode?
Well, we had at least 2 guys here who went from trading to building bots. So I suppose I learned that if you quit trading, you'd better go to building bots and maybe not to using bots. But I'm not sure about that yet. I'll wait for next episode to be sure about that.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting storyline of a couple of guests that we had today as well, right? Like going from trading, physically trading themselves, into eventually helping other people to trade, to trade by using bots and algorithms and actually building.
Goes to show that being able to code is a very important skill that people may have.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, Adosa, we finished the first episode, or well, almost, let's say. What are you going to take away from this first episode of Bots TV with all those other episodes yet to come?
Well, of course, I'm going to look into investing more in the bots app. I'm going to see if I can understand the algorithms better, but also see what kind of other bots users are actually there, but also understand all the other bots creators. So to see what other creators are actually doing anything. So that will be my focus for next week, I think.
Great. Well, thank you, Adosa, and also thank you for helping us out here during this first episode of Bots TV. See you next week again on the 29th. And Herbert, well, thank you for being here as well in the studio.
I had fun. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to see each other again next week on the 29th, 4 p.m. CET. That's going to be the time that we're going to be live next week. Once again, I also want to thank the guests, of course. We had Hendrik, Colin, Peter, and Damien. And if you want to listen to the podcast of Peter McCormick, make sure to check him out on Spotify, because it's called What Bitcoin Did, as well as Defiance. Those are the 2 podcasts that he has. For now, I want to, basically show you the agenda of next week. So on the 29th, we're going to talk again about the following things: bots news, bots users, topic with Seth Shapiro, bots around the world, and bots league. And of course, there's going to be plenty of guests and therefore plenty of questions that you can write in the chat. And we're going to ask those questions for you to the guests. So thank you for watching to the first episode of Bots TV. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to follow us, subscribe us, or wherever you're watching, if it's Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, or follow us on other social media channels. Hopefully see you next week on the 29th, again, 4 p.m. CAT. Thank you for now. Bye-bye.